Hi, welcome to Career Cruise. This is a product of Networking in Heels, which is a space for women to come together, to network, to be mentored, to be empowered in terms of their careers and businesses. We decided to move the conversations outside the event rooms and the event spaces to come to this online space where more people can benefit from just knowing what the discussions are in terms of growing, in terms of their careers and businesses and what have you. Career Cruise is a place where parents, guardians, professionals in different stages of their careers can get advice for them to see what lines they should get into, what they should pivot into, what not to do, what to do, and what to look forward to. It's also a place to celebrate glorious success, to talk about the bad fumbles that people have had in terms of their careers and businesses, and just a place to even just see, is life really about succeeding or failing? Can someone just have a normal tempo of life, in terms of their careers? So here at Career Cruise, we discuss everything. It's a melting pot for all careers to be discussed. We want to talk about the old careers that used to be there 100 years ago, talk about the ones that have come up now in the age of AI. We have so many careers that are available now. And what are the steady ones, what are the new ones, what are the ones that are obsolete, so this is just that space. So welcome to Career Cruise. Enjoy yourself with us. So today on Career Cruise, I came to discuss a few things, like career advices that we've had, things, the best ideas, the worst ideas, the ideas that looked like they were not it, but then they turned out to be actually a very good idea. The ideas that, when they came to us, we were sure about them. And then when we went with them, we're like, whoo, that was a horrible idea, So today that's what I want to discuss about, like career advice. That's what we're on about today. One of the things that I'd say just for myself is venture outside your comfort zone. I think it's a wonderful piece of advice for anyone, because many times we tend to stay where it's comfortable. Like, this skill, how to pour juice into a cup, and that's your skill, and you've perfected it, and that's it. So you're not willing to find out about tea, how is tea poured, how is coffee poured, and I'm just using those beverages as an example of different skills to learn within your career. Or even just to get out of the beverage area, go find out about food, go find out about, even the growing of said food, and how it's packaged and sold and distributed, etc. So those things will be like different. They look very different. They might look very different to you. They might take your time to learn those skills. You might not be very good at it at first, etc. And obviously then, nobody wants to disrupt the rhythm of their life. Once you found a rhythm, myself included, nobody wants to really disrupt what's working. But, in this life, what I've learned is that you have to disrupt yourself before you're disrupted. You have to inconvenience yourself before you're inconvenienced. And looking at now, the time that we are in, I mentioned earlier, we're now in the age of AI, artificial intelligence. So anybody who disrupted themselves or who is disrupting themselves now will benefit so much more, just like less than a few years down the line. Because once you take your time to learn this new technology, this new information, you may not use it right now, but you'll find that knowledge, because one thing I believe in wholeheartedly is that nothing ever goes to waste. There's no knowledge that goes to waste. So you learn that knowledge right now, you pick it up, and then you find that you're even able to tell what images are, even just the recognition of what images are artificially generated and what images are real, like real human or real plants or real grass, etc. So take the opportunity, just disrupt yourself. Thank God now we have all these courses happening online. You don't have to really go to school and attend a class for it. You can attend these classes virtually and gain the knowledge, gain the information, and be equipped in terms of AI knowledge. And there's so many uses for AI. People generate speeches, people generate presentations, people are generating all manner of works, even music, using AI. So it depends on really where you are right now in your career, what sector you are in. Take advantage, just learn AI. And that's just one thing. For me, I find it so uncomfortable. And even as I'm saying this, I'm even saying it to myself. Like, venture out of your comfort zone, and go and find out what is happening really, and why is everybody talking about AI. I mean, we've seen even advertisements now on billboards, they have AI imaging. We've seen so recently, 2 months ago, we went to buy school books when you're doing the whole back to school run, and then just the exercise books that we normally see in the textbook center or other bookshops, they had AI generated images. So it's a thing now, so we really can't ignore it, you can't run away from it. And I'm using AI as an example of a sport that is out of our comfort zones, or out of most people's comfort zones. I don't know what your comfort zone is like and what is out of your comfort zone, because I would be saying that AI is out of my comfort zone, yet for someone else it's like a duck in water. They're enjoying themselves, it's making so much sense to them, the flow is fantastic for them. So your comfort zone and my comfort zone may not be the same, and something that's hard for you may not be hard for me, and vice versa. But figure out what is that thing that you're resisting and try to go into it. And because then you'll find that once you've gained, because that knowledge is like a muscle, once you gain that muscle, then you become stronger in your career for it. I remember seeing just my own sister. She's done her accounting degree, she's gone and become a CPA, and all those things take a lot of time. So just following the accounts and the math and and the CPA, it made sense. Like, you could easily just see why someone who's done accounting will want to go for a CPA. So of course I'm thinking, okay, that's aligned and that's going well. And then after a while she says, I want to go into human resource management. I'm like, wow, that is literally like the other side of things. It's a whole humanity altogether. And she went in, and at first I thought, and I didn't say it to her, because I generally am the kind of person who, if I'm not going to encourage you, I'd rather than not talk about it, because I wasn't understanding, and I didn't want to infect her with the not understanding. I wanted just to see how the journey will go. So she goes in and she does her HR courses, and she even graduates, because the thing is, whether you do it, whether you take the time to do the thing, or whether you don't do it, the time will pass. That time will pass. So the time passed, and then now she's qualified in HR practices. The time would have passed again, and she'd still be the same place where she was earlier. So having said that, because of the HR training, now remember, she still hasn't lost the knowledge about being an accountant. She hasn't lost the knowledge of being a CPA. She has not lost any of that knowledge. Now she's added more muscle to that knowledge. Now she knows about people. She knows about their needs in terms of organizations. So now she's very well placed to do, payroll work, where there's compensations and benefits, that kind of thing. So she's improved. She has a stronger card, a bargaining card in terms of her career, because then she's basically been the architect of her career. She decided to go into this. I never saw my sister as a HR person, but here she is now. So she's not only HR, she's also, an accountant. She's also a certified accountant, so to speak, in terms of what you say, career qualifications. So yeah, I just urge you and urge myself to get out of our comfort zones, to get out of the places where we know here is where we shine, to actually go into places where we may not shine at first, but it won't be too long before we realize we're now loaded with more benefits, and we're able to bargain better in the marketplace, even and it's not just for the marketplace, even just our own personal satisfaction. Because like I said in earlier episodes, as human beings, we're lucky. We really don't have to, we're not tied to one spot. I can be, tomorrow I could go to Hollywood and star in a movie, if that's what I want to do, because then we're able to pivot like that. So take the opportunity to grow yourself. If you're, just because we're talking about CPA, if you're maybe at CPA 1, push yourself to 2 and push yourself to 3 and 4. Finish the thing, don't let the time pass and you're not improving yourself. And that's all I can say about, venturing out of your comfort zone, and going for things that you never thought you'd do before. Going for things that other people would never even imagine you doing, but because you in yourself, what it is you need to do and how far you need to grow, and Again, it could even be on a whim. Who said you have to plan everything? It could even be on a whim. Tell yourself, oh, tomorrow I go and be a superstar. Go for it, Go for it. Because if you don't go for it, the time will pass and you'll still always have the longings and the thoughts. What if I could have? I wish I'd have. How would it be like? So let's leave no room for longings and thoughts and regrets. Let's do what you need to do by venturing out of our comfort zones. I think once you start making the first move, then the road rises up to meet you. The time you start moving, help comes. The time you start moving, ideas come. The time you start moving, things are happening. And I think it's amazing that way. And I think we're lucky that way that, we are fortunate as human beings we can do that. The younger you are, the more you have this time to get out of your comfort zone and push for things that, your peers are not doing. It's okay. You'll suffer a little bit because now I cannot even imagine, I'll tell you. In the case of my sister, when she was busy studying her HR courses, we hardly saw her. We'd be calling her on a Sunday, hey, do you want to go swimming? Do you want to do, there's something happening, let's go for this, whatever. And she's like, I'm reading, I have to, I have an exam, so I'm reading. So then when I take my study leave from work, it's just for exams. I don't take a leave for reading, I don't take a leave for exams. Because again, these jobs to be balanced, there's time to be balanced. So, just sacrifice. She did sacrifice. I must honor that. She sacrificed herself and her time and all the fun she would have had in that time. And she did well. She graduated. We were very excited. We attended her graduation and had a little party after that, just to celebrate her. So push yourself out of your comfort zone. You will really be uncomfortable. You miss a few parties because you have to, study or this new job or this new whatever. You will suffer because you miss out on things here and there. But it's short term. It's short term pain for long term gain. And so that's the encouragement. Another advice I'd say is basically about meeting new people. Again, it's also part of getting out of the comfort zone. For most people, once you've made your friends in high school, once you've made your friends in university, you're like, this is my pod. These are my people, and we have all these hashtags, no new friends, like staki watu wengine, and we really lock ourselves into our cocoons. I'm not saying it's bad to have a friendship group. In fact, it's amazing because the support is important. But also, you need to realize that your friendship group will not always have everything you need, especially if you're trying to grow your career. And that's what we're talking about here on Career Cruise. Your friendship group might not give you the connect to, get to a leg up in terms of your industry, because maybe you don't even work in the same industries as your friends, or they don't have a visibility on what your industry is. And you might just feel like, now you start complaining, you start being those people who say, marafiki hawanisaidii. No, help yourself. Get out there, network. If you're a lady, go for networking in heels, look out for every time the events are happening, come out, come network. When you go to a wedding, don't just hang out with your friends only that try and also meet new people. When you go to the office party, don't just hang out with the friends who you share a QB with, talk to people in other departments, meet new people, put yourself out there. Now we have platforms like LinkedIn where you can actually meet new people based on career, because you get to see on LinkedIn what each person does, what their background is, or what they're actively doing now. So that's a way of meeting new people. Don't shy away from that. Attend conferences, attend industry conferences, attend industry meetings, and anything that's advertised that you can attend. It doesn't have to cost you too much, but get out there, look nice, carry your peppy self, be confident that you also carry value. You don't have to be the most outspoken person there, but you carry value, and that's enough. So come out there, network, meet new people, and you'll find that in this meeting new people, ideas come up, opportunities are even born in those conversations. I remember, this is very recent for me. I remember at home, so I just put the car, and I didn't put it very well. So my neighbor comes in. It's a neighbor who I know they live in that house, but I've not really had a time to talk with her. So she hooted And then I just waved at her and smiled because I didn't know what was going on. So she came and put her car and then next to mine, and then she came out and said hi. And then so we got to talking. And then, she's like, I never really know anybody because I work such crazy hours. And I was like, no, don't worry, I'm your neighbor. I live in, number 7, and so. And then in the process of conversations, I told her, so now that you're working these late hours and this graveyard shift, can you take me to your job? What do you do? That I just went into that. And turns out she's doing some interesting business where she actually said, and I do need some help, so I don't mind connecting you to this. And I was like, Allah, just from a parking lot, a conversation has been born that could actually lead into a different opportunity. And I'm like, wow, meet me meet me where the money resides, So network. Don't be afraid of saying hi to your neighbors. I know now we live in a time of everybody for himself and God for us all. But I think if we just had sparked up genuine conversations, good things will come out of it. They may not come out of it now, but if somebody knows, hey, I know so and so and this is what they do, they'll always maybe keep you in mind for opportunities as and when they come up. Say what you do, say what you're interested in doing. Even if you're not looking for a job, just say, I would be interested in, jobs in this area. Like, you just never know. So be open. Networking doesn't just have to happen in clustered events or structured events. It can happen even in an unstructured way at the gym, on a running track. It's so many places that this can happen. So open yourself up. It's very uncomfortable, especially if you're, if you're an introvert, or even when your hours are not so good, because some people work very long hours. But if you get the chance, even in church, come on guys, when they say the grace, don't just stand up and go home. Hang around a little bit, say hi to the person you're sitting next to. That is if they're open to it, but try and or join a fellowship or do something, because then in this one-on-ones is where opportunities are born. This one-on-ones, that's where your support is, and it may not come now, but it's an investment towards your career, your investment towards your well-being, because if your career is okay, many times your well-being is also, your status of well-being is also improved. So go for that. Something else I can say in terms of career advice is just be a lifelong learner. Like, please guys, stay curious. Like, it's so important to keep your mind open, to stay curious. Don't be that person who says, this is how I am, or this is what I do, this is what I know to do. No, that should not be the end of the sentence. It should be, this is who I am, but I'm open to anything that will make me better. This is what I know to do, but I'm open to information and to learnings that will make me even do what I do in a much better way. So be open, keep your mind open, learn how to do things that you don't normally do. If you work in a bank, then you just can't be a cashier only. Find out how about to deal with customers in terms of selling them loans or managing their accounts, etc. And I'm just using that as an example. I've never worked in a bank, so maybe I need to leave the bankers to come and tell us what they do out there and how to grow one's career in banking. I think we should have a guest for that section, or rather that sector of the industry here soon. But basically just become a lifelong learner, learn to do things, listen to other people's ideas. You may not agree, but just listen, you might pick up a gem or two that could help you further down the road. We are not the same, so when you have that in mind, it even makes your learning easier. You're able to take in information from people that normally don't agree with, but it's easier to take it in, because then you're a lifelong learner. You're able to learn about different ways to dress up yourself. So then, just because it's how you dress up now, it's not the only way. I mean, surely I expect, because I like to say to myself that I think I'm open-minded, I'm open to learning. I expect to look different, even just even a year from now, even 2 years from now, just look very different, because I'm open to learning. Learn what works for you, learn what doesn't work for you. Learn what can boost you, learn what will drag you behind. Just learn, stay learning, be open. You don't know everything. None of us not one single person is an abattoir for all the knowledge in the world. An abattoir, a reserve. None of us, myself included, none of us. So stay open. Some things don't make sense, but it's okay. They don't have to make sense. Just learn. You'll find where they make sense many years down the line, maybe, but it's important that you learned when you learned. Don't resist knowledge, be open. And then the goodness with knowledge and information is that when it comes, it changes you, and many times it changes you for the better. It changes even how you operate from that point on. It changes your decision-making processes. It changes your perspectives. It changes your attitudes. It changes your mood. So I could be hungry right now, and I'm anxious the whole time because I don't know when I'll eat. But if I know that there's food in the kitchen, then I'm not worried. I'm like, it's okay. After this, I know I'll get lunch or something. So this information, because you're learning, it calms you down, or and makes you less anxious. It also fires you up for your journey, because then you're like, I know that I will attain that and that. I know that if I do this, is going to be the result. So you're even more excited for living your life in terms of your career, in terms of even the business you're involved in terms of the clients you're serving, in terms of the places you want to go. Just being a lifelong learner makes your life, I don't know, I'd say even more spicy and more interesting. Yeah. More spicy and more. And I think that's what we all want. Come on, guys. We don't want a dull life. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't want a dull life. So there's very many good advice that you can get for improving your career, for, taking your career to the next place. But also there's bad advice, guys. There's bad advice. And I'd like to share some of those terrible takes, that people give out there, and maybe some that you've received. Please write to us about the bad advice you received. Okay, the good stuff and the bad stuff as well. Tell us the good stuff that you received that shaped your career, made you move even to a different town for work. I don't know. And also share the bad stuff, the stuff that you're like, I wish I didn't listen to that person. My life would be better now. Or I went so far in the wrong direction that I don't even know how to come back, So share. This is it's not a place for perfection. This is a place for, we learn together, we share, we learn together. Yeah, we will laugh at some of your blunders, but then I will also commiserate and hopefully help you out of them where we can, Some of the bad advice I know I have had myself is, fake it till you make it. I know it's so trendy to say fake it till you make it. Everybody's faking it till they make it, putting on a persona, We're all just trying to be a certain way and hope that we manage to get to our Canaan, our promised land. But I personally just think that faking it till you make it is very wrong, because when you're faking it, you really don't have time to learn the intricacies of the job or the business. You don't have time to learn even the technicalities. I feel like faking it till you make it for people who are trained, people who have knowledge, people who have information, and maybe what they just need is an opportunity. Hence the reason why they are faking it. But when it comes to your job, when it comes to your business, you cannot fake it. My braider cannot fake that she knows how to braid. She either knows how to braid or not. Otherwise my hair will fall down. The surgeon cannot fake it until I make it. Otherwise they'll gouge out people's eyes, cut off people's hands, all those bad things. The driver cannot fake that they know how to drive. It's either they know how to move us around or not. Others will be falling in ditches. They'll ruin the cars, making us have accidents and injuries, God forbid, So, yeah. So, there are things that, when it comes to your business, please don't fake it. You might fake confidence, and that's okay, but you can't fake the work. There's work that needs to be done. You can fake confidence because you don't know how to present to this new customer, this new huge client. Maybe you don't know how to present to them, and you have to tell yourself, fake the confidence. But the work cannot be faked. The ethic cannot be faked. The integrity cannot be faked. There's literally that line of fake it till you make it. There's not much wiggle room for that. We have to do things well and do them well all the time, like majority of the times. Yes, you'll blunder. Yes, it's life. You will blunder. but really that should not, that should not warrant you to say fake it till you make it, because then you're really shooting yourself in the foot if you decide to fake it till you make it. Get some knowledge. I can't pretend to be an accountant, as in the most math I can do is on the calculator on my phone. But I'll leave that to my sister. I'll leave that to the people who've been trained in those ways so they can balance books for companies. For me, I wouldn't know what to do. I'll just hear things like, yeah, we are balkanizing, we are, those are just terms and words that I hear being thrown around by the accountants in my life, but I don't know what they even mean. So let the experts do the work. If you're an expert, that's a good thing. If what you lack is confidence, that's okay. You can fake your confidence. It normally comes. But you can't fake the expertise, the work, the knowledge, experience. Another terrible piece of advice I've had being dished out is, don't follow the money. What? Who say don't follow the money? Please follow the money. Please follow the money. Rent is every month. If you're going to buy a house, mortgage is every month. You need to eat every day. Come on, guys. Follow the money. I'd say it confidently. Follow the money. I know I've been told not to follow money. And so there's a few times I've taken jobs, because for me, I feel like follow the money, don't follow the money, also has a sister called take the job for the experience. So first, let's go with don't follow the money, then come back to that. So, I've been told, don't follow the money, just focus on learning, just focus on, it's good, this is good for your CV, don't even, when people are complaining their money is little, don't join them. You don't know people's stories. Everybody here everybody's here for a different motive, so you do have to know what your goals are here. And it's very, such talk is not liberating, and many times you find that when people are talking like that, they actually do know where the money is. They just don't want you to have access to it. I mean, I'm not trying to buy a Bugatti on my first job. Okay, that would be nice, but I think it's important to follow money, because when you're getting paid, there's a bit of dignity attached to your, and it is what it is. We live in a world where, money answers a lot of problems. So if you have a bit of money, then you're able to even buy time. Instead of walking to work, you're able to take a bus to work, and that takes you, it might be a shorter time for you to get to work. If you have money, you're able to dress better, you're able to have, your lunch, your packed lunch for work. There's dignities that come with having a bit of money to spend. So don't let anybody lie to you not to follow the money. Please, guys, follow the money. Of course, you're following experience. Of course, you will learn on the job. You will grow. Your career will, become more stable. But please, as far as you can, and as and where you can, please just follow the money. Please don't be lied to. Please follow the money and come back and tell me how that went when you followed the money. I really want to hear stories of where people followed the money and they saw it even, please be young and rich if you can. And if you're pivoting from your career, it's okay to follow the money. Please, guys, I know experience is important, but if you can get an opportunity to get on the elevator rather than take the stairs, please, guys, take the elevator. Please, just follow the money. Money is a good elevator. Anyway, yeah, so the other sister I was talking about is take the job for the experience. You can take the job for the experience, but many times that job does not come with good working conditions. That job might not even come with money attached to it. That job might just come with a very toxic environment as an attendant to it, and that job might even derail your path. You are going to, let's say, you're taking a walk to Naivasha, and then when you get somewhere, it's a cute place, maybe somewhere in Limuru, and you get derailed, and you end up never ever going to Naivasha at all, or going to Naivasha very late or much later on. So I think it's important to, don't just take a job for the experience. Have some plan, and talk to people that you can trust. But then again, it's these people that we trust that give us these advices that, just, don't follow the money and, take the job for the experience. Because many times, I really hate that sentence, take the job for the experience. Because it's a lot of free labor attached to it that's not very good for you, because then as much as yes, you're laboring for free, then is your rent already paid, is your food taken care of? It also comes from a place of a very privileged position. That those two pieces of advice, the evil sisters, they come from a place of privilege, and not everyone is privileged to be able to just say, don't follow the money and come to work for free or something. Not everyone is privileged to say, I'll take the job for the experience, because then the privilege here means that they're not worried about their housing, they're not worried about their food, they're not worried about their medical care, everything is covered for them. But more and more, I just want to even urge employers and anybody who has an opportunity where people are working for them in any capacity, try your best to compensate that job, try your best to compensate that person's time and energy that they've spent on your job. Yeah. To compensate them, so then there's a better attitude involved, just human, this compensation. Yeah. And so maybe lastly, as we come to an end, and this discussion about career advice, I think it's a discussion we can have every day of the year, all the podcast episodes coming up, and we'll still not finish all the good advices and all the bad advices. But I'll give you just one more before we conclude this particular show on Career Cruise. You know how they say, follow your dreams and the money will follow? It doesn't always pan out like that. It's such a popular advice. Like, there's nowhere I'll turn and not hear that advice being shared. So I think it's important to have a game plan. Don't just follow your dreams, but have a plan for following these dreams. The dream is an illusion. It's a big goal. It's a big vision, and that's okay. But it's important to have a plan for following. So then, even when the money is coming, it finds you ready to receive it. So if I'm following my dream, let's say I want to be. Let's use what career are we going to use? I'm trying to see. Let's go into banking, for example. Again, I don't know much about banking, by the way. I just don't know why it has decided to land on my head, and that's what we're discussing. It's fine. So you're getting into a banking industry, and so you want to be a bank owner. Maybe one day that's what you want to be. So how do we strategize for you to move from being the teller to getting into all these other places? So yeah, you get in there, you're in the system now, and then you're talking to people. You're talking to people you know how to talk to the branch manager, find out how they got there, talk to the relationship managers, find out what's happening with them, talk to people in the treasury department, find out what goes on there. And they don't have to know that that's what you're planning to do. Just engage them. Human beings like talking about themselves. Talk to people and they'll tell you, oh my God, let me tell you how I got here. And then, because you're the lowly intern or something, they don't even feel threatened by you. So they're happy to spill all their their business secrets to you. So take advantage, have those conversations. When people are doing team buildings, attend those as much as you can and just learn what's happening in the industry. And you might just realize, even listen to industry talk, you might realize, oh, okay, so I'm here now, but there is where the next big thing is happening, and position yourself to move into the next big thing. And, maybe this bank is popping right now, but there's another that will be popping in a year or so, and that's where all the experienced people are, or that's where all the action will be, where we'll be exposed to more action. Because I know in some jobs they limit your activity to what is on the JD. In other areas they say, in other banks maybe they'll say, or other companies they'll say, okay, I know we said you're going to be the receptionist, but please, you also realize you're going to be the photographer, you also realize you're going to be the event planner, like that. So all this, be open to these challenges, so that then you're following your dreams, money is coming, and you're also growing. So then as you're adding to your portfolio of knowledge, you have better cards to bargain for. And then one day, who knows, maybe you might be somewhere and the discussion about to acquire or start a bank, and you're able to be on that table and be on that conversation and be part of the team that owns the bank or acquires the bank. And that's it. I'm just trying to explain how you just can't have a dream and not get into some action on it. And your dream has to be strengthened by your actions that you take. And then of course the money will come and the growth will come, and the big vision, you'll be on a mission to attain the big vision. Yeah, so that's what I can say. I know there's terrible takes. Out here, the terrible takes you guys have gotten as advices towards your careers, towards your biashara, towards your entrepreneurship path. I know especially business people get such bad advice. Gosh, I want to hear those bad advices that entrepreneurs have gotten. We'll read them out here, maybe a few shows down the road. So feel free to share. I mean, you have our contacts right there on the podcast notes. Yeah, so this has been Career Cruise. My name is Violette Wambua. I forgot to introduce myself earlier, guys. I'm so sorry. My name is Violette Wambua. So thank you for staying with me up to this point. Yeah, and talk to me. I'd like to hear from you also. Until next time, bye-bye.